In the past years, we've been working with a lot of supplement brands in our agency. We spend millions in this niche, and these are just some of the results that we have generated, the one that you see right now on the screen. And one of the many mistakes that I see in this niche from brand owners, in this case supplement brand owners, is that they just think about the ads itself, but they forget that the success of a supplement brand is basically created by three main growth pillars. So in this video, I want to show you exactly what these three growth pillars are and how you can leverage them in order to grow and profitably grow, of course, your supplement brand. So there are three main growth levers that you need to implement, you need to take care of if you actually want to scale a supplement brand. So these are the three main growth levers: the creatives, landing page, and offers. And in this video, I want to dive into each of them and tell you exactly how you can optimize them and what you need to do in order to optimize each single of these three pillars. So the first one is the creatives. Now, something you need to think about when you think about creatives is that you can usually, for supplement brands, this is very common, you can have an infinite amount of creatives, angles, ideas, and personas, and the reason why people sometimes get stuck with creatives is because they don't know how to think and how to actually create new concept. But it's actually very simple. There is a specific process for it, and the process is basically this one. So the first thing you need to do is identify your persona. And then, of course, like for supplement brands, for instance, a supplement that helps you with sleep, like a sleep support supplement, there are a lot of different personas. It could be an entrepreneur that cannot sleep at night because he's probably worried about all the problems in the business. So it could be a stressed mom, which is very stressed and she cannot sleep at night. Or, there are like different personas that you can have. And then under each persona, you have different angles, and how you create these angles, you usually create them based on fears and desires. So for the weight loss, for instance, space, what you can have, you can talk about the fear of gaining weight for people, but also the fear of gaining lower belly fat. So there are two different type of messages in this case, two different type of angle, which is still gaining weight, but triggering a different sub angle in this case, because everyone is kind of afraid of gaining weight. But what is the actual concept is that it's very difficult probably for someone to go from 60 kg to 90 kg, for instance. But then what is very common is that someone can easily put a belly fat. And so if you go more specific about the details of this specific angle in this case, you make the message more relevant for people, because when you usually get fat, usually you start putting the lower fat belly or, this kind of thing. So what you need to do is actually call out the outcome, okay? The specific outcome that the person wants, or the actual specific fear the person has, and then you sell them, of course, your product. And then you have different concept of the creatives, like us versus them, testimonial, the reason why, native ads, Yapper videos, podcast video, and headliners. And then you have the format, which is static, video, and carousel, and then the awareness stage, which is unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. So this is basically the split, guys, and this is only for one persona. So if you look at it, for one persona, you have multiple angles. For each single angle, you have different concept. For each single concept, you have different format. And for each different format, you can use different type of user awareness stages. And this is actual what is going to bring you a lot of creatives. And this is just for one persona. So you can technically have thousands of creatives just for one persona. And this is how you need to think when you think about creatives, specifically for supplement brand. Now, something to mention here is that usually, which is a very common mistake, is that supplement brands tend to drive people to the same product page, but that doesn't always work. And the reason is because, as you can see here, when you have a supplement, for instance, that helps with weight loss or to improve sleep, there are different personas and there are different consequences to that. So if someone click on your ad because you're pushing the angle of lower belly fat, but then in the landing page you're more broad about gaining weight, but not specifically gaining lower belly fat, then the person that clicked the link to go on that specific ad, talking about a lower belly fat, then you think that the page is not relevant for what they were looking for. Because if the person initially clicked because of the gaining lower belly fat, and then in the landing page, if you talk about the overall avoid gaining weight or losing weight, it's a different thing, because you're selling me the concept of not gaining weight, and then in the landing page you talk about losing weight, so it doesn't resonate with me anymore. That's why each single landing page that you create needs to be specific with the ad. Of course, you can have different personas, then you have different concepts, you can group them under one specific landing page, but that's something very important. So you need to make sure that you are increasing, you making sure that each single creative is driving to a specific landing page that match that specific creative angle. So you want to have this relevancy over there. Now, for the landing pages, there are different type of landing pages: the listicle landing page, advertorial, sales page, PDP, and quiz funnel. Now, each single landing page, can be specifically built for a specific audience as well. So what that means is that usually if you want to go for more unaware audience, what you can try to do is use an advertorial. While if you want to go for more a solution aware or problem aware audience, you can try listicle. While if you want to go for a product aware or most aware audience, you want to go for a PDP. You can also use a quiz funnel for an unaware audience. And so, as you can see, the landing pages also they don't just change based on the creatives that you run, but they also change based on the message and the audience that you are targeting. And the reason why most supplement brands can't actually scale is because they focus only on the PDP or the listicle. But PDP and listicle are mostly for the most aware audience and solution aware audience. So you want to go one step above. So problem aware and unaware with quiz funnel, advertorial, and sales page technically. So sales page can be used for different type of concept, because sales page is simply just a landing page focusing on that specific angle that you're targeting on the ad. Now there are different type of ads that you can do. There are the native ads, there are like the headliner ads, like a lot of different things that you can do. But what is important of the day here is that each single ad needs to drive to a landing page that is specifically built or specifically made, or at least is congruent with the overall persona or messaging or angle they are targeting on the ad, or at least the user awareness stage. But keep in mind that the more you close the connection gap, so the more you make the landing page close to the actual ad in terms of like messaging, the higher the overall performance of the ad will be, because the landing page is converting better, because you're driving a click. Someone click because he wants to improve sleep because I'm a stressed entrepreneur and this works specifically for entrepreneur. But landing page, you talk about a lot of different things, because probably supplement can also solve sleeps, but also does like a lot of different things because of the ingredient inside. So there are like multiple benefits. And so this person that clicked feels a bit like, oh, but this is not what I'm looking for, because this is not the reason why I clicked the ad, And so this is another mistake the supplement brand do. They usually have one landing page with all the benefits stacked, because what usually happens for supplement brands is that they have one product, and based on the ingredients they have for that product, they can solve different issues like improve sleep, for instance, decrease anxiety, decrease stress, and there are like different benefits in this case, and each single benefits can have different personas, different angles, different concept, and different personas, different angles for each single benefit of the actual product. And this is how you actually scale a supplement brand. Now, when it comes to offer, this is also very important, because the problem with supplement brand is that technically and usually what you do, you sell a product and then you sell the single unit is like the AOV technically is very lower. So what you want to do, you want to play with bundles, buy one get one offer, quantity discount, business as usual, so BAO offer, and so subscription, which is basically the MRR concept. Now, we have tested a lot of different offers across a lot of different supplement brands, and what we see works very well is having a quantity discount offer, or usually like so basically, let's say you sell like I don't know, a drink that helps to improve sleep, okay? And so you don't want to sell the single unit. I mean, you can sell the single unit, but you need to price it very high, and most of the time it's not convenient. So what you can do, you can sell a package, and the package is basically the supply. What that means is that you have a 30-day supply, 60-day supply, 90-day supply. And what you want to do, rather than have the billing every month, you want to have it every 4 weeks, because if you do every 4 weeks, at the end of the year, you're billing not 12 months, but you're billing 13 months, because you're going to save 1 year because of the weeks, or even more. I didn't do the proper math here, but you probably can charge them even more than 12 months in a year. But anyways, the concept here is that you want to avoid selling the single product, but you won't actually push people to buy a longer supply, like 90-day supply, 60-day supply, so rather than the simple 30-day supply. And that's because one, you can increase the AOV, and two, if you have a subscription and you mix this with a 90-day supply, you need technically to ship less time the product, and so you can save on shipping as well. And the way that you can use as a strategy that you can use to actually make sure that people are going for the offer with the more expensive offer is by stacking different benefits for the specific offer, like for instance free shipping, or get like a masterclass about from our scientist about how you can improve the sleep, you get an ebook, all these different things that or maybe even like a welcome kit. So, and this actually where you also need to think about the customer and the customer that you're targeting, because if you run ads for either like existing customers or new customers, different type of customers might need to see different ads. So if someone knows your brand very well, is about to buy your product, then you probably need to target them with an offer ad, driving people to the product page. While if the person specifically doesn't know about your brand, you can target them with a more unaware or probably aware ad, bring it to a listicle, then this person will see the other ad. And then you need to have specific offers that are made for new versus returning customers. So for instance, you can have a welcome kit, and then the welcome kit, it goes specifically to new customers rather than returning customers. And this is how you push more towards new customers, because at the end of the day, you usually have an MRR if you have a supplement brand, so you have like this monthly recurring revenue, you can have this subscription, or you still have some sort of LTV because it's a consumer product, so people need to buy the product again, right? And so for you, the most important KPI here is acquiring new customers, and technically you want to be as much profitable as possible to acquire new customers. And most of supplement brands actually are not even profitable in the first months or year of business, and they start becoming profitable later once the MRR come into place or once there is the LTV kicking in. And so that's something you need to consider. But if you want to be profitable on the first order, just make sure that you make a very good offer front end with a very high AOV, so the meta ad spend can actually sustain that and you are actually profitable on the first order. Now, common mistakes here. The common mistakes for supplement brand. The first one is that there are too many creatives. So supplement owners, usually they create too many creatives, and there is a diminishing return, and there is an overspend into testing, because since supplement brands have a lot of personas and concept and benefits and so on, usually happen is that there is this situation where brand owners start creating a lot of different ads for different personas, for different angles, for different benefits, so everything gets messy. What you want to do instead, you want to have a very structured testing approach, and when you see something that works, just start scaling that while you also test other things. But don't keep spending the same amount of testing. Increase more the budget into scaling. You start scaling that specific concept or angle that is working, you start testing more angles, then you start scaling other angles as well. Another issue here is that the one that I talked about before, which is not matching the ad angle to a landing page. So if your ad talk about better sleep, your landing page can't stack 4 or 5 different benefits all together, like improve sleep, decrease stress, decrease anxiety, and people clicked for better sleep. That's it. So you need to talk about how to improve the sleep in the landing page. Another issue is that they use the same offer for new versus returning customers, and so there are no incentives for new customers to buy your product, and there are also no specific incentives for existing customers to keep buying from you rather than try the competitor product. Then another mistake is that testing offers not yet ready for the business stage. So for instance, if you have the 3-month supply subscription for a new brand, people usually want to try the product first. So they try the product first, they buy once, so like maybe like a 30-day supply, and then they want to go for the 90 days. But sometimes, and we actually see this very often, that there are still some people that still order the 90 days, and you get an higher review, of course. And the reason why this happens is because the 90 days offer usually is the most promoted offer. So the one that sometimes, most of the time, is even like the already pre-checked offer. And in this specific offer, there are a lot of different benefits, like free shipping, get the masterclass, get the ebook, like all these different things. And then finally, the last mistake that is very common in this niche is that brand owners gives only discount for longer time frame. So rather than giving discount, so rather than saying buy the 90-day supply so you get 20% off, so rather than pushing discount there, of course there needs to be a discount, but not that much. So rather than pushing the actual discount, what you can push is the bonus. So rather than be like buy 90-day supply, get 15% off, 20% off, don't be like that. Actually do say If you buy the 9-day supplies, you get PDF, ebook, you know, all the different benefits. And that's basically it for this video, guys. If you have any question or if you own a supplement brand and want to work with us, feel free to click the link in the description of this video and fill the form in our website to get in touch with us directly, and we will see if we can help. Otherwise, feel free to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment if you have any question, and I'll see you in the next video.